Wow, Angie. It looks like you really worked quite hard to prepare for the other night. I know you're already busy with everyday things, yet still you somehow found a way to book reservations at such a famous five-star restaurant.
Well, I think the first meeting between families is always very important. After all, after the wedding, we'll all be family.
Yeah, but to be honest, there was absolutely nothing five-star about the food at that place. Apparently, edible food is not required to achieve an excellent restaurant rating. My, how the times have changed.
Oh? You didn't like the food there, Trudy? What was wrong with it?
It baffles me how one can eat a steak when it's still blood red and bleeding. It's so uncivilized. That, including everything, was also extremely salty, and what's more strange is it was also sweet. It's like we were sitting in a candy store, not a five-star restaurant. And for a meeting like that with so many people and varying palates, it would have been much better to have basic American cuisine.
Ah, well, Trudy, I asked Ben what kind of food you usually preferred, and he said you love Mediterranean food. So that's why I found the best Mediterranean restaurant in the area and booked the reservations there.
Oh, really? Well, what Ben doesn't know is that there is only one Mediterranean cuisine restaurant that I adore, and it is not even in a 50-mile radius of here. I only like the food made by those chefs in particular. It would have been much better if you had just consulted with me, and not leave it up to my son to figure that out. Don't you know by now how oblivious men are to notice things like that? Which reminds me, from now on you should consult with me about anything and everything regarding your wedding ceremony. Don't bother asking Ben for his opinion on things.
Yes, Trudy, I'll do that.
By the way, your mother sure is a beautiful woman, isn't she? To my understanding, she is about the same age as I am, correct? Well, how her skin can have such a glowing complexion like that just baffles me. Her skin was so bright and shining that I had trouble eating and digesting my food because I was so embarrassed.
You are embarrassed? How?
I thought you had said that your family wasn't very well off, but here her mother was, all dolled up. I am surprised she could afford to buy and use up so much makeup. And the clothing she was wearing! My goodness. It looked like she was on her way to walk on the red carpet at the Oscars. She was so overdressed. And poor you. There she was dressing up like the star of the evening at your engagement dinner while you were sitting there comparably in rags. Was she trying to steal your spotlight? In my opinion, she rudely overdressed for the occasion.
Oh, well, Trudy, that is your opinion, and I will acknowledge your thoughts. And I'd rather not have a debate with you about this, but I honestly was and still am totally fine with the way my mother dresses and does her makeup. I always have been and always will be. It's just her style.
Alright, well, I guess it is what it is, huh? Occupational diseases like hers are not ones that can be cured easily. It's probably better to just give up. She sold her smile and her body to men for so long, I guess it's hard to break the habit. I guess I understand how she could become like that after living in such a filthy and degrading environment for so long. Females in that profession have to do all sorts of things like caking on makeup and wearing those types of flashy, scandalous dresses to attract their customers. It's all part of the job. You see, I grew up and have always worked in a more high-class and high-quality environment. So it was a bit shocking and embarrassing for me to see such a spectacle last night. But I can understand and accept it now.
Trudy, what? Why are you talking like this today? Are you feeling all right? Do you have food poisoning or something? I think maybe you have some misunderstandings about my mother's profession. How in the world did you come to that conclusion anyway?
Well, I was going to keep the cat in the bag and pretend I didn't know, but I guess I just can't resist any longer. I hope you will have the grace to excuse me. I did a small background check on your mother. A woman without a husband, going around all dolled up and dressed like an aged Playboy model is obviously a bit suspicious. Something just didn't seem right, so I had some investigating done. It was a fortune, but my son's future costs way more than what I paid the detective. I am only a mother concerned for her son. You understand, don't you? And it sure is a good thing I was concerned because I am now completely aware of both you and your mother's real identities.
What? Trudy, what the heck are you talking about? You are now aware of our true identities? What fake nonsense did they tell you?
Your mother is the owner of a massage parlor and you are only a high school graduate. Ugh! I couldn't believe it. And I still can't. These days, everyone goes to college, but you! All you have is a GED. How dumb are you that you couldn't even go to college? This is a world where not even high school graduates can get a decent job with decent benefits easily. How in the world do you think you're going to be able to support yourself and make a living? Even now, you're just lazing around your mother's house as a full-time unemployed bum, aren't you?
Didn't Ben tell you that I am a freelancer? Or do you not consider that to be working a real job?
What kind of a fool do you think I am? Freelancer? How could a high school graduate like you even become a freelancer? I had a bad feeling about you from the start. It's a good thing I went ahead and did a background check on both you and your mother. I can't believe my son almost married you and fell into such an awful trap. I didn't think I raised him up to be so naive. It's enough that you are nothing but a lazy high school graduate. But in addition to that, your mother! A massage parlor owner! Of all the degrading occupations. My goodness. I know exactly how that kind of massage therapy job works. She is basically just a cheap prostitute. How disgusting. My precious, hardworking son did not graduate from Harvard University and then be hired by a leading industry company to get stuck married to the leeching and mooching likes of you and your mother. Ugh! I cannot believe my poor son almost made such a mistake.
Why did you spend so much money on investigating this? You could have just asked me instead of doing something so ridiculous.
Huh! Like I could ever trust you to be honest about all of this. There's no way I would risk falling for your sneaky schemes along with my pitiful son.
Really, there was no need to so recklessly do all that, especially in your current financial situation.
What? What the heck do you know about my financial situation?
Well, I heard that you and your husband are still living in a tiny rented studio apartment. At your ages, you still can't afford your own place? Or at least a rented house? And besides that, you don't even have a car. You know, it'd really do that anger management issue of yours good if you could take a long drive every now and then. And I am also well aware that your husband's monthly salary is not enough to pay your measly rent and bills, so you often go running to Ben for more money. He didn't tell me about that until after we got engaged. It bothered me for a while at first, but I did my best to understand and be okay with it until now. I felt sorry for you and also for Ben, and I didn't want to let your problems and shortcomings break us apart. But it's looking like you're gonna to get your way after all. And you better apologize about insulting my mother and her career. My mother has never once sold her body to any man. And she doesn't only work at a basic massage parlor, she works at a skin clinic. She has been working hard as a professional massage therapist and certified dermatologist for more than 20 years. And it's not even a massage parlor, it's a licensed skin clinic.
Oh, really? Is that so? Well, if she has been working and running that shop for that long, I guess she must have earned quite a fortune.
She hasn't earned millions, but she has always earned more than enough for us to eat and live comfortably. We never once had a single financial struggle.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
By the way, you said you paid a fortune to some private investigating company, but they weren't even able to tell you all that?
Fine. I didn't actually pay a fortune, okay? I went somewhere cheap. And the guy they assigned to my case is a bit inexperienced. I guess there were some misunderstandings. Anyway, it looks like thanks to that phony detective, I came to some incorrect conclusions regarding your mother and her line of work. If I had known that she was running a licensed skin clinic for over 20 years and that she was actually a professional massage therapist and certified esthetician, I would have never been against this marriage. So that's why you and your mother are so gorgeous. But anyway, what's so important about one's career or financial situation? Isn't love most important in marriage? Who needs a college degree or a high social status? As long as there's enough money to live and eat comfortably, that's more than enough for a good marriage, don't you think? I acted so silly and immaturely. I really do hope you'll accept my apology. It was awful of me to think and speak about you and your mother that way. I am so sorry. Would it be alright if I stopped by your mother's clinic and apologized to you both in person? Actually, I would love to receive a good massage and some skin treatments there. Do you think it would be possible for me to get a family discount or something?
Sure. I'll talk to my mom about it and see what policies our at her clinic are. I think a discount or two would be possible, but I can't guarantee anything.
Really? Wow! Thank you, Angie. You're so wonderful. Your mother is acting completely out of line. She said she thinks I am some overaged, gold-digging, money-crazed leech. How dare she think I am accepting your marriage only so that I can get some lousy discounts at her overpriced joke of a business?
Excuse me? If anyone is speaking out of line right now, I'd say you are, Trudy.
Didn't you say earlier that I would be receiving a family discount? I believed you and went there with 5 of my good friends after telling them that they could get a discount. And do you know how much we were charged? $300 per person for a massage and facial. How ridiculous. I had told my friends they wouldn't even be paying half that amount. Do you know how stupid I look to them? This has completely lowered my reputation. My friends will never let this one go. I'll be mocked for the rest of my life. They stormed out and said they would never speak to me or include me in anything ever again. I tried calling them, but nobody is answering. They aren't even responding to my text messages. This is all you and your greedy mother's fault. And your mother had the nerve to call me those awful names in front of everyone there. How the hell are you two going to take responsibility for all this?
Trudy, first of all, calm the heck down, okay? When we were talking, I never guaranteed anything to you. I clearly told you that I would talk to my mom about it and find out what her discount policies are. Per the clinic policy, discounts are only given to the store owner, manager, and employees' close relatives and close acquaintances. It is not given to strangers.
What? Are you two calling me a stranger? How dare you? I'm no stranger. I am your future mother-in-law.
Oh, well, I think maybe you are still misunderstanding something. In-laws are not seen as relatives by the policy. So, I'm sorry, but in-laws cannot receive any special discount. And for the record, if it makes you feel any better, even the family and friend discounts aren't much. Our clinic is highly rated and only offers high-end and high-class treatments for those who can and are willing to pay for them. We could never offer such expensive products and treatments to any of our customers. And by the way, you should have been able to find all this out through the background check you ordered.
Also, please be aware from now on that this clinic is not a facility that hosts and entertains gangs of cheapskates. What? Now you're calling me and my friends a gang of cheapskates? How dare you speak like that to your future mother-in-law? Oh, my apologies. I should have introduced myself here sooner. This is Angie's mom, Greta. I thought it'd be better for the two of us to speak about this issue directly. So I asked my daughter to hand me her phone. Oh, is that so? Well, hello, Greta. Actually, I had some words I wanted to share with you. I'm glad you've joined our conversation. Excuse me, but would you mind calling me Dr. Hansen instead? I prefer that over just Greta. Thank you. I don't think I will be able to allow my daughter to marry the son of a crazy witch like you. What did you just call me? I couldn't allow her to be associated with a lazy, lowly, ordinary housewife who spends her days perusing around and making a ridiculous scene everywhere she goes with her gaggle of geese. Doing all that while she waves around and uses her husband's minuscule yet hard-earned money for her own benefit. Oh, and worse than all that, a woman who, in her youth, snuck out of the house every night to work a degrading hostess job flirting with sleazeballs at a strip club. A young mother with a child going around doing such a thing. What would happen if this word about your dirty past got out? And using the dirty money you earned at that part-time job to get botched nose and boob jobs done by amateur, unlicensed, so-called plastic surgeons. Do you realize that those practices were illegal? You know, you may be quite over the hill, but you could still have a shot at getting a real job, and then you could at least afford some successful correctional surgeries. Oh, and I heard about your first impression and investigation on me from my daughter. You actually thought that I was living and earning money the same way a slutty tramp like you did? I could never stoop so low, even if I was ever desperate for a buck. Aren't you at all worried and embarrassed about what would happen if your husband and son found out? Especially your poor husband. You used to practically cheat on him every night while he was always working overtime. Do you really have no shame? Wait, how did you find out about all that? Who the hell are you? How could you find all that out about my past? Did you work at the same club as me? Didn't I say that I could never stoop so low or be that desperate? Of course not. I would never work at such a horrendous place. How comical you are. To think I would ever work in such a place, or to think that I would ever be like you. We grew up in completely different worlds, and apparently with a completely different set of morals. You know, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Haven't you ever heard the saying? Here's another one for you. You're just like a dirty penny on the street. Two-faced and worthless. How dare you insult me like that? This is unbelievable. I am so shocked at your cruelty. I am speechless. You better tell me how you found out about my past. Right now! Well, I heard you hired a private detective and did cheap investigations on my daughter and I, so I figured I might as well do the same. Huh, but I put out a bit more money than you did, it seems. I went with a real detective agency. And apparently my money was well spent. Looks like there are 0 misunderstandings this time. See? When you get a real job, you can get real money and afford the real deal. What? You did a background check on me? You have some nerve. You see, I was raised to treat others the same as they treat me. An eye for an eye, Trudy. You background checked me and my daughter, so of course I had to do the same towards you. Also, for my own daughter's sake in future, I needed to make sure we were both well aware of what she might be getting herself into. But to be honest, I never would have thought about ever hiring a private investigator to do a background check on anyone. So, thanks for giving me the idea. I've got to say, in my time as a doctor, I have been in contact with many an interesting character. Dealing with patients is customer service too, you know. But dang, you truly are nuttier and crazier than any customer I've ever had. You had yourself so worked up after doing a background check on us and getting the results. I'm surprised you didn't have a stroke or something. And look at you. You are exactly what I thought I was. There's no way a decent son could ever come out of a filthy, manipulative wench like you. I very much believe in the saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What? How could you use my past to judge my son? Don't tell me. Are you seriously going to break up my son and your daughter's engagement just because of what I did? Are you really that petty? How could I possibly live with a sound mind and heart knowing that my future grandson or granddaughter's other grandmother has such an embarrassing and shameful past? Seriously, how do you expect me to be okay with that? Now that I know what type of person you really are. How could I entrust you with co-raising a child with my family's blood? How can you be so stuck up and conceited to judge and belittle someone based on their profession? What makes your profession any better than others? What makes you so great? We are humans struggling to make ends meet. We all need to put food on our tables and electric in our houses somehow, don't we? How can you degrade a profession when the worker is only trying to eat 3 meals a day and survive? My husband and I didn't come from such well-off and well-to-do families that we could get such apparently prestigious jobs like yours. But I was born with a great body, so I used it. How dare you treat me like such a worthless lowlife? You've lived an easy, privileged life your whole time on this rotten earth, so I would never expect you to be able to empathize with me. But then again, aren't you a slave to money and the system yourself? You're still a slave to your customers, and before having your own business, you were a dispensable pawn to your boss. I'm more disgusted by people pretending to be so elegant and graceful like you do. If I were born in your shoes, I'd be living like you. And if you were born in my shoes, you'd be living like me. You are stuck to live with whatever fate you are handed at birth. So why are you judging me so much? I didn't choose my past. Oh, really? You think you had no choice but to choose what you did because it was some predestined fate? I made my own fate with my own head and hands. My doctorate in opening this business was in no way handed to me on a silver platter. Heck, it was never in my plans to even go to college or become a doctor. The day after my husband died and I became a single mother, I wiped my tears and went out to the unemployment office to get a part-time job, while at the same time applying for colleges. I chose to work at a construction site and put up with being harassed by male workers all day. Not because I wanted to, but because that type of job had a higher part-time pay than waiting tables or any other part-time jobs available at the time. I literally worked my butt off to put myself through college and raise my child all by myself. My parents felt bad because they could not do much to help out financially, but I never resented them. I stood my ground and took my fate and my daughter's fate into my own two hands and molded it into something that makes me and my family proud. If I hadn't worked so hard and endured all those long hours of studying and labor, I would not be so high up where I am able to stand today. That is what it means to live. You make your own choices and create your own outcomes. It's using your brain and your talents, not your body. That way, in the future, when you close your eyes and look back, you have something to actually be proud of because you lived confidently without regrets. Then and only then can you actually stand up for yourself too. I really hope that you will take my advice and start living from now on, Trudy. After that, my daughter broke off her engagement with Trudy's son. They had been dating for 2 years. I advised Ben that breaking off an engagement due to his mother's behaviors could always happen again in the future. After how she and I were both treated by Trudy, my daughter kept her ground the entire time and never once considered going through with marrying into that family. In the end, the two decided to go their separate ways and move on peacefully. Fortunately, their only grudges are held towards Trudy and not towards each other. Later on, I heard from my daughter that her ex-fiancé still has no intention of ever forgiving his mother. He has completely cut ties with her and is living out on his own. Good for him. He apparently has a decent job and is living well. For anyone, having a life full of challenges and hardships, whether big or small, is inevitable. However, working to overcome those challenges and come out better than you ever were before is truly living a life worth something. In my opinion, there is no such thing as destiny or fate. Life is simply what we ourselves make it out to be.
Thanks so much for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more. Also, don't forget to let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below.